Heading over to Universe 10, Gohan, Beerus, and Whis conversate about who that mysterious key signature belonged to, eventually coming to the conclusion that the one that matches Black's key signature the best is the Apprentice Supreme Kai of Universe 10, Zamasu. Arriving on the planet of the Kais in Universe 10, Whis and Beerus have a conversation with Goasu and Gohan walks over to speak to Zamasu. Zamasu, of course, knows who Gohan is as they've met a few times already. In this timeline, he's still a bit irritated at mortals, but with his meetings with Gohan, it's changed his perspective bit by bit. Gohan tells Zamasu about the weird series of events that has transpired on Earth, even telling him about the suspicious warrior with a key signature not too different from his own. Zamasu is of course surprised, as he didn't think a version of him already put his Zero Mortals plan into action. Knowing that his plan has already started, he can't afford to be caught right before he continued to enact his own plan. Goasu shows Beerus and Whis time rings, proving that they haven't been tampered with and none of them are missing from the box. With everyone's suspicions seemingly quelled, the visitors from Universe 7 take their leave. Cutting back to Beerus, Whis, and Gohan, we see them sitting not too far away watching through Whis' staff. Just as they planned, Gohan fed Zamasu pieces of information to see if he'd act earlier. Right on cue, Zamasu eliminates Goasu, prepared to enact the Zero Mortal plans much earlier than he expected. With the crime caught on Whis' staff, he rewinds time as they arrive back on the planet midway through Zamasu's attempt on Goasu's life. Beerus confronts Zamasu just like he did in canon, erasing him from existence, so saving Goasu's life in the process. With that done, Beerus claims his work here is done, saying the people of Earth need to stop messing with time. Gohan thanks him for the help and claims that if this whole situation isn't resolved, the people on Earth will make sure not to abuse time traveling anymore in the future. They head back to Earth as we see Goku and Trunks sparring in Super Saiyan 3, with Goku almost completely dominating until his victory. Gohan arrives back on Earth, telling them that they've seemingly dealt with the threat, but just in case it's not over, Goku and Vegeta can go to the future timeline to make sure. Bulma finally finishes making repairs to the other time machine, and they all take off to the future. Events happen just like they did in canon, even with the reveal of Zamasu confirming that Beerus erasing him in the present didn't change anything in the future timeline because of the time ring. The only thing that changes here is Trunks unlocking the full power version of Super Saiyan 3 instead of wherever the hell Super Saiyan Rage is, as Goku and Vegeta returns back to the present timeline. Gohan is concerned seeing that Trunks didn't return back with them, and Vegeta says he hates to admit it, but Trunks stayed behind to hold off Goku Black and Zamasu while they escape back to the present. Gohan, finally realizing how serious the situation is, decides to accompany them to the future once the time machine is refueled. Fast forwarding a bit, Goku has learned the Mafuba and the time machine is ready to be used again, with everyone plus Gohan returning to the future. Immediately upon arrival, Goku and Vegeta flare their ki up, notifying Goku Black and Zamasu of their return to the future timeline. For the time being, Gohan stays with Bulma as sort of a bodyguard until they find Trunks, which they do find him with a nearby resistance base. Bulma tells him that she has a way to deal with Zamasu, but he should watch the video Piccolo made for them. Of course, it's the video of Piccolo teaching them the Mafuba, which Gohan and Trunks successfully pull off against Zamasu. And since Gohan has a lot of Kai abilities learned, he just makes a seal for her, even though Goku forgot it in the past. Realizing that Zamasu is sealed, Goku Black knows his fate is almost sealed, so he just fights much more calculated with his clones, managing to damage Goku and Vegeta a decent amount. That's when Gohan decides it's time to step in, confronting Goku Black. He tells him that his Zero Mortal plan is flawed from the beginning, as he needed a mortal body to even start his plan. He chose the wrong body, seeing as Gohan is much stronger than his father by a large margin, transforming into his ultimate form, starting to beat up Black. Eventually, Goku Black can't keep up anymore, even with him trying to force out more power through his evolution, but it's still nowhere near enough to close the gap, leading to his inevitable defeat. Trunks thanks everyone for helping with Goku Black and Zamasu, with Bulma ready to give them the coordinates to New Namek to reverse all the damage done. Speaking of Namek, Gohan disappears for a few minutes. He then reappears with Dende, ready to pose as the new Guardian of Earth. He also used the Dragon Balls on Namek to reverse all the damage done on Earth, and revive all the people that were killed by Goku Black. With that done, we head off back to the present timeline, leaving the future timeline in a much better state than it was in canon. Moving on, we see Goku and Vegeta training on Beerus' planet still, with Goku eventually wanting to go talk to Zeno for the tournament that they were promised. Beerus still threatens to erase Goku, with him pulling off the same Meiju look trait, teleporting back to Zeno's palace. He speaks to Zeno about them having a tournament soon, with him still wanting to see an exhibition match to see what the other universes had to offer with their fighters. Vegeta still declines because of the birth of his own child coming soon, and Gohan is busy with his own families. So Goku ends up asking Goten and Trunks instead. Now Chi-Chi doesn't object right away, saying Goten is on summer break right now, and he does have pretty good grades. So she has no reason to hold him back here. With the boys constantly still training with Piccolo and Gohan and unlocking their ultimate forms, they aren't too far behind Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta in strength. They're actually really comparable to Goku and Vegeta before they return back to the future timeline to fight Goku Black the second time. With them being this strong, they kind of just blast through the entire Zen exhibition matches with ease. Then we get up to Goku vs Toppo, but since Goku is much stronger here, he forces Toppo to use much more of his power here. Toppo was even about to use his full power, and even considering unleashing a bit of his destroyer energy, but that's when the Grand Piece decides to conclude the match stating, "That's all I need to see from the fighters for now." The Tournament of Power would take place in 7 Earth days, so everyone has enough time to gather all the fighters they can to participate in a 10-man free-for-all. Everyone returns to their own universes as they prepare to fight in the Tournament of Power in 7 days. Fast forwarding a bit to the start of the tournament, we see the full team of Universe 7 being Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, Goten, Piccolo, Yamcha, Master Roshi, Krillin, and Tien Shinhan. But before we move on to the tournament, we should go over how strong each character is and why they were added to the team. First off, we have Gohan. He's the de facto team captain here, appointed by Beerus and Goku, and he's easily the strongest here and has access to healing abilities, making him the most valuable member here. He easily holds the #1 spot. Next, we have Goku and Vegeta. Of course, it's a no-brainer. Goku and Vegeta have lots of battle experience and seems to have the 2 biggest bags of techniques to dip into, making it easy choices for them to currently hold the #2 spot together. Next, we have Goten and Trunks. As I said before, Goten and Trunks are right behind Goku and Vegeta strength-wise, but these two also have much better teamwork than the 2 adults. The combination of these 2 things puts them solidly in the #3 spot. Next up, we have Piccolo. Now of course, Piccolo being the master tactician he is, he's kind of a sort of sub-leader role next to Gohan. He also has to keep an eye out on Goten and Trunks to make sure they don't let their guards down in the tournament. Finally, we have Krillin, Tien Shinhan, Master Roshi, and Yamcha. They all have their own abilities to make use of and specialize in different ways of combating many enemies, whether that is splitting themselves up into multiple clones, blinding them, stunning them, filling them away, or using precise energy ball to steer around cover to eliminate enemies from a safe distance away. The humans might not be the most physically powerful on the list, but they have a lot of abilities in the group, putting them in places 5 through 9. With that said, we move on to the start of the Tournament of Power, and everything goes pretty similarly to how it does in canon, with some stronger characters here. Up until the first universe is eliminated, there's little to no casualties. That's when we see Krillin and Tien being pressured by Frost and Vegeta until they're eventually picked off, being knocked out of the ring. Master Roshi, seeing this, decides it might be best to regroup with Yamcha and Piccolo as he makes his way towards them. Little by little, more universes start to be eliminated, with Goku eventually fighting Jiren just like he did in canon, unlocking Ultra Instinct Omen. But here he's actually much closer to mastering it than he was the first time he unlocked it in canon, with it looking much closer to his second awakening against Kefla. He still loses to Jiren, of course, but he's healed slightly by Gohan instead of being given energy like he was with Frieza. Speaking of Kefla, Goten and Trunks are straight bullying Kel and Caulifla, even when they've transformed to their more powerful forms. Eventually, they're forced to fuse against the two, shifting the tides in the battle a bit in their favor. But since Kel and Caulifla fuse, Goten and Trunks got the idea of trying it themselves. Chin throws a pair of Potara at the boys as they fuse into Trunk Tin for the first time. Just like before they fuse, they start to bully her once more until she's eventually unleashes all of her energy in a blind rage trying to eliminate them. But with a clear and level head, Trunk Tin just invades every attack, charging up a big tree cannon and eliminating her with a full power blast straight to the face. With tons of energy to spare, Trunk Tin flies around the ring at high speeds, taking out the weaker warriors until he gets a bit too ahead of himself, thinking he could take on Jiren. He charges at Jiren, launching a barrage of attacks, all of them being blocked or dodged. Gohan then jumps in, lending some backup and actually pushing Jiren into using much more of his power here. pushing a lot of the fighters out of the arena, with Roshi and Piccolo being the only 2 casualties from Universe 7. Vegeta continues to fight Toppo until he's forced into using his God of Destruction mode, and in turn, Vegeta finally breaks his limits, erupting its Super Saiyan Blue evolution, with him overpowering his Kais with just raw energy, knocking him right out of the ring. With Jiren as the last fighter of Universe 11 versus the 5 fighters of Universe 7, he finally unleashes his full power, putting everyone there on the back foot. Trunk 10 eventually defuses during all the chaos, and Goten and Trunks are eliminated pretty quickly, with Jiren then setting his sights on Vegeta next. He starts to very quickly put a lot of pressure on Vegeta until he's forced out of the ring. He then turns around looking at the last 2 remaining fighters of Universe 7, the father-son duo of Goku and Gohan. Jiren rushes the 2 down, beating Goku out of his transformation as he starts to clash with Gohan again, who's finally going all out. Jiren starts to push Gohan back more and more until he's finally kicked several times in the chest by Goku, who's standing back up in Ultra Instinct Omen, ready to fight him once more. The battle starts to heat up more and more, Goku and Gohan comboing off of each other, using all of their techniques to give them the biggest edge they can over Jiren. With his back against the wall and facing total elimination of his universe, Jiren finally breaks his limits as he charges at Goku and Gohan. They charge back at Jiren, colliding with each other, trying to overpower one another. Looking pretty even right now. That's when we see Jiren start to be pushed back bit by bit, when we see the hair of Goku and Gohan slowly blink white. With the final blink and pushing their power to the absolute max, reaching new levels of power, they eliminate each other from the tournament. The Grand Priest announces Universe 7 as the winner, as they still have one more fighter in the arena. Everyone looks over in shock as we all see the GOAT Yamcha holding onto a rock near the edge of the stage with a look of horror on his face. He climbs back up onto the stage, looking around at everything. Hearing what the Grand Priest said, he just smiles and shoots a thumbs up at the stands with a goofy smile on his face. He makes a wish to revive all the universes destroyed in the tournament, earning a smile from both the Grand Priest and Zeno. Everyone then returns to their universe, excited to see what the future holds. With that, we end this part off here, with Yamcha being the final warrior standing in the Tournament of Power. What do you guys think about this part? Will our squad manage to come across Broly next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe for more. Catch y'all next time. Peace.